at you one more again. I hope every blessed. I'm doing blessed and highly favored, and definitely hope the same for you. And if this is your first time stopping by my channel, love to you and welcome into my returning subs, my growing extended beautiful family. Just thank you so much for the love and support. You know, we're constantly going through things, we're figuring things out. Being able to see the bigger picture of our life purpose and where it might lead us is truly a blessing. So, with that being said, much love to all. Namaste, love and blessings, love and light, and many blessings are definitely coming your way. And if you have been watching my videos for a while and have not already, what are you waiting for? Like and subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when your girl's about to upload her next video. Also, if you're comfortable enough, drop me a line or two. I would love the chance to get to know you as much as you're getting to know me, even if it's about the positive feedback of the content of my video, or you're just up telling me about your empathic gift, how it impacted your life, and heading you towards a positive direction. And if you feel like the videos are very informative, uplifting, give you good vibes that you would love to share with a loved one, family, or a friend, or even a fellow empath that are going through trying times at the moment and needing spiritual guidance, or just needing confirmation or validation towards life path, or even soul purposes, please go ahead and share. And while you're at it, give it a thumbs up, like, and also share on your social media favorites wherever you see fit. Thank you once again for the love and support. It's so greatly appreciated. And I love y'all from the bottom of my heart. And I hope you're able to resonate with the content of my video. And the music that I'm listening to in the background is called 528 hertz raise vibration, be positive minded Reiki healing to cleanse negativity meditation music, and I will post that link in the description box below. And the video I'm doing today is called Twin Flame 101 Heyokas. When it seems like darkness constantly surrounds you, it gives you that beautiful reminder that you are your light. A lot of times we go through these, we go through our phases of uh, our journey, our quest, basically, to find out a deeper meaning to our lives, what we're here for, what kind of part we're going to play in a mission. How can we be able to help improve the world where it's truly needed in all ways, shape, forms, and fashions. And it's just a lot of times when we're going through these different phases, as well as we're changing, we're ascending and stuff like that. We're working on being the best version of ourselves. But when you're dealing with a lot of darkness around you, and it's just like a lot of times when you're so focused on the negative, instead of allowing yourself to basically try to come to terms with it. I mean, it can be very hard at times because that many situations has brought you towards this path of spirituality, knowing yourself, loving yourself, being kind, allowing yourself not to feed into others expectations on how they want you to be, being yourself, being comfortable in your own basically your own skin, and a lot of times we go through many dark moments in our lives where we're truly needing to heal. But at times when the things that has taken place in our life that could have really impacted us in a real sad or negative way, um, these things are coming up for you to be able to see how your strength has evolved with those situations. Those are the things that had to reflect towards you. And a lot of times, we hear a lot, certain situations can make you, and certain situations can break you. And these things is all about, when you say stuff like that, it's all about where your mentality is. Are you allowing yourself to be fair towards yourself? Because a lot of times we can be hard on ourselves when we feel like, how come I can't get over something this quick? I'm tired of thinking about this. I'm tired of this resurfacing. And it's like a lot of times when they resurface like that, the universe is trying to send you a message. um and it is just you're not alone. You're not alone, because a lot of times we feel like we can be alone in our sorrows, we can be alone in our overwhelming circumstances, but it's not. They send signs all the time to let you know you're not dealing with this by yourself. Not everything is what it seems. A lot of times we don't understand there's certain things that's taking place in our life to be able to show us that we have that light that is always glowing. And a lot of times you have to, and I had to tell myself the same thing. If things were so nice all the time, things were not hard or harsh, and you always had the sunshine, how would you be able to appreciate anything? when those blessings comes along. And and that's what, you know that was the whole meaning of it. You had to be able to go through certain situations of your life, certain phases, for you to be able to appreciate it. You had to be able to endure the most needed darkness in your life. So when you have the blessings of light or love, you'll be able to maintain that because you knew what it felt like to be in that dark place. And darkness is not always evil. You know, it darkness is like you had to go towards a place that was very dark to you, and it's not evil, it's just phases of your life that you really have to come to terms with. These things were placed on us, but it wasn't there to stay. A lot of times it's hard for us just to break away from those things and detach, but it's all about where your mentality is at, how you view everything that comes and goes out of your life, how you tend to respond to it, where you placing your energy on. Are you placing your energy on things that are being very therapeutic towards you, or are you allowing yourself to keep constantly going into that repeated cycle of the things that has taken place in your life that slows down, your growth, that's, blocks your blessings, that's trying to come in, um and being able to uplift yourself and move up above those, because it's like we have to use those as platforms or, milestones to be able to say, what, I went through this, I recognize it, and I understand I had to go through these things, but let me allow myself to be loving towards myself and do what I have to do to heal from these things, from these old wounds that are no longer needed in our lives. It brought you towards your path, and a lot of times it's really hard to be able to detach yourself from those things, because if it was something very detrimental to your life that, maybe shook you to the core, or, you know, being able to really see things for what they were, because we suppress so many different things, like if it happened in our adolescence or, in our younger childhood, things has set that path, for the wheels to turn. And, these things had to be able to show you, like, even though these things has happened in your life, it wasn't really, a lot of times it's hard to be able to see, it's not, this is not about you. You maybe had to go through these things, heal from it, overcome it, just for you to be able to help other people that are looking for that same peace of mind. Because a lot of times we don't realize it's our thoughts, our minds can be the biggest enemy of it all, because it's allowing where you're putting your thought process at, where you're putting the energy that you have every day. I had to be able to change the way I do things, allow myself to, you know um really take part in bettering myself. I love what I do. I love being able to, make videos, to be able to be that friendly reminder to other people, hey, even though you may feel misunderstood, um, not everybody's going to get you. Not everybody's going to understand, your purpose, or, what are you trying to do? That's all about how you tend to validate yourself. When the people, because a lot of times we get separated from the people we have, gone down our journey with. And a lot of times they were supposed to be that seasonal person. You were supposed to learn off of it, get what you need to do. It's like a life source, basically. Like, if it's kind of like Independence Day, when the movie with Will Smith and all of them came in, and or basically in Predator is the same way, if I want to go ahead and use that as a metaphor. They come down, basically be able to get the things that they needed to survive, so they can be able to keep moving on. You had these things that has happened to you, you still survived. I see a lot of people that, make the news, or, they're doing their own videos, or even being motivational speakers, because of the harsh situations they've endured throughout their life, the shortcomings they had to really deal with to get to where they really needed to go, or they had a game plan of where they had to go, but they had to go through a lot. And it really allowed them to have that different perspective of everything. You can be ready and just be gun ho about what you want to do with your life, especially if it's going hand in hand with your gifts and stuff like that has been handed down to you. But the way, especially if you feel lost and trying to understand, okay, I want this to go on with my life, but how do I go about it? And it's just like, what you want to do, and if this is going to make a positive impact, not just for you, but it's in surrounding, where it's going to have a domino effect amongst many people. Universe and God tends to put us through a lot of different struggles, a lot of different setbacks, mistakes, failures, trauma, you know so you be able to understand and appreciate everything that's happening. I've gone through a lot of things, and it's just like the last few weeks that's been going on, seeing how things can really be taken for granted, um being able to do that, this millennial that's going on, and it's like giving us that shock value, and it has harsh situations that come into our lives, but in a way, in a weird way, if where my opinion is, these harsh situations is bringing out a blessing. Like, never take things for granted. Anything can change within a day. Hell, anything can change within an hour, but you have to allow yourself to cherish every moment, live your life, with no regrets, going hard for what you truly want in life to make you a better person. Being able to see everything as a blessing, everything is a sign, everything um, is something that you needed to learn from, no matter what it is. Being able to see things more as a perspective of healing or being productive, allowing yourself to catapult throughout the process and trust the process of your progress. Being able to change how you are. Don't allow yourself to place walls around yourself because you're scared to, step out of sync at times. And a lot of times, we have to get comfortable being uncomfortable because things change every day. Being able to look at things, and it was just like, I at times it's like really hard for me to do certain things that I do, because it's like, I'm trying to be even about all the things I want to do in life, and, help other people do videos, but I want to make sure that my mindset's right, being healthy, doing things that I know is going to bring me joy, because it's just like, I'm not going to look at everything that has been done to me, in a bad way, even though it was bad. But then I allowed myself to see what my trauma has brought me, what kind of path that it designed for me. It's like you're getting to know your blueprint. You had to be able to go through all these different things in your life, and and sometimes it can feel like you're being swallowed whole within your pain, things that has really happened to you that you're really trying to find that peace in your heart. But you can't find that peace in your heart if you always constantly have that negative incidences, or certain situations. You have to be able to allow yourself, and I have to say this a lot often for me, hey, I see this memory, I recognize this memory, but it's no longer needed, so I can release it. It got me to where I needed to be. It got me to where, being able to know, these things had to happen just to remind me of the strength and the power I've always had, not allowing things to be a repetitive thing because it's went on for so many generations, that I do have that power to cease and desist when it comes to that. I can have that power to cut cords where it's not positive for me. It's not holding in my highest good. It's no longer serving me in that way, that it's no longer needed. That had to remind me of everything that I stand for, everything that I know I can do better in life if I allow myself and apply myself to do that. I see the things that come up in my surface that, it's been very painful to me, but I'm allowing myself to be fair towards myself and be loving towards myself, to say, hey, these things did happen. Yeah, it did, but I'm allowing myself to heal from it every day. You know, being able to get it, just get it, like, tag, yeah, this really hurt, and all this. But then you have to allow yourself to see these certain things had to be, you know, in connection with you in that way for you to understand what you want to do in the world. You can always, I always said I wanted to be able to help people be happy, help people love themselves as well as they're loving others around them. But I didn't know how I was going to be able to do that. And it's like, if you want to be able to relate to people, you have to really go through the dirt like they went through that dirt, when they experience constant, pain, anguish, things made them feel like they were beat down mentally, emotionally, shoot, physically, all these different things that I can totally relate to, that makes you want to go hard for other people like that. Because it's like, if you can't really relate, how are you going to be able to help? So it's just like being able to do that. And it's just, when I look at my situation, yeah, it hurts like hell. But then when I see what this situation has brought me, how far I've gone, I'm no longer the person I was before I started my video. And it's like every day is a blessing to me. Every day when it gives me that new chance to say, you know what, I want to be better than what I did yesterday. I want to keep pushing myself, thriving towards things that, either I didn't have the energy for. It's just like when you're gun ho about your healing, you're not going to place excuses for it, because it's like with me, I can do a few videos and, wanting to work out at times. And then when it comes to me working out, I'll come up with every excuse about not doing it. It's like, oh, either my head hurts really bad or, me sitting too long, make my legs swell and they're very tender and stuff like that. So I have to allow myself, hey, get up, move around, you know, um, push yourself and do better than what you did yesterday. Because it was like yesterday, I went ahead and, I was doing my little light work, my little empath social working thing. And it's like, since this situation has happened with my sister, being missing for God knows what, I still don't understand what happened. But, when it's meant for me to know, I'll know. I'm just, you know, as long as she's safe and she's like doesn't have a hair gone from her head, that's the only thing that really matters to me. I don't, just let her know, hey, you need to be careful or all those different things. I'm just blessed to be able to know my sister is safe and sound. So, that situation had taken place in my life that really shook me, because it's like, you hear about these things happen to people every day, and you're like, you don't even want to be able to grasp the concept of what is going through that person's mind or how they're being able to deal with that, because a lot of people don't have that blessing to where when their children or your brother or your sister or your mom or dad has been abducted or going through sex trafficking, all these different things, not a lot of people get that blessing to have that person return back to them. Either they're having to come to terms with it and don't know where they're whoever they are to them, or you're having to identify somebody in a morgue, all those different things, I felt for people. And it was like all those feelings came to my mind like that. And I'm just like, no, no, I'm not going to think about that. This could be fear based, all these different things. But universe and God has a weird way of being able to open things up for you and being able to view everything as a blessing, because it's just like you never know when that last day is going to be. So don't allow yourself to keep, you know, dwelling on things that is you can't change. These things had to happen for you for a reason. We all had a purpose to serve, but you would not be able to serve that purpose if you never really endured something to make you want to go hard for that. Because you can say all day, oh, okay, I want to do this, oh, I want to do that. You had to be able to embrace that, come acquainted with your darkness. We have to be able to love that side as well as the light side, going through all those different things. And I know my daggone energy is changing because you'll see the light. My energy is like so different right now, but yesterday I had to take a break, and I couldn't even paste any posts. When I usually go on community, I usually give y'all a funny meme or two, or I say something positive, or try to put an empath fact out, on different things. But it was like everything was so sensitive, because since my gift has catapulted, it's just like when I connect with people, and if it's that time, for me to connect with people and they're telling me, their situations or what they're trying to get, understand why certain things had to happen, if it's around that time, because a lot of people connect with me like it was set up for that to happen. But there's a lot of times I can't help just yet because certain things had to go about. You see how it's just like the light starting to change around me. I can feel it because that is just so weird, you know. But it's just like I'm gonna show y'all my computer and my TV, because this is no way that this is my energy. And I'm gonna let y'all see. This is the computer, and you see my TV. I'm not changing anything. So all these things has changed into me where like when it's meant for that to happen, is like how we can be able to say that quote, you can't understand anything unless you walk in my shoes. And a lot of people try to place judgment on us, but it's just like whatever, I got to find out what this is. But whatever took place when it came to my sister, it really rattled something in me. And it was like 4 or 5 shifts that happened. And it was like, one of my soul nieces was like, Auntie, are you okay? And I'm just like, no, I felt lost. I feel everything right now, and everything, I had to shut myself off because I really wanted to do videos that day. But if I can't identify and understand what was going on in my body like that in that way, I did not want to share that with anybody. I did not know how to, keep that bubble around, because there's a lot of times my energy does change extremely. But if it's good and loving, I don't mind. I'll send that out to people because a lot of people need that right now. But if it's something that is very heavy, sad, dark, no, no, I don't want to send that out to anybody. I try to be very mindful of that. So whatever that is, shook to the core, it's like people that I'm coming in contact with, for me to allow myself to explain to them, this is what's going on. This is what's taking place in your life that you truly need to know. And when universe is allowing me to speak through source, but being that human antenna to be able to go towards your point of view and basically stepping in your shoes for that minute. So whatever you got going on in your life, whether it's health, I'm going through spiritual transmutation, transition, spiritual, psychic detox, all these different things, is allowing me to be able to do that within that time. So I'm feeling everything you're feeling, being able to relate so I can be able to break things down to you about why things are happening. And I feel like the way they're showing it to me, like, is if it's at that time, because a lot of times certain things had to be able to take place and go into full circle before I can really help you. Because there are certain times I'm like, hey, you got really heavy energy right now and I can't deal with that. And it's not about me being harsh, but a lot of times things had to be able to take place and get those wheels to turning so you can be able to get that set to where, okay, now Roslynn can go ahead and tell you what is going on in your life, what you need to pay attention to, what you need to back away from, and go towards this way. Because it's like there's so many people that I'm connected with, and it's so downright to the point accurate that it scares the heck out of me, you know. So it's allowing me to be able to see that beautiful light that surrounds me, and it's just like lately I've been having a lot of chills to where, I feel my angels, my spirit guides, like touching me, telling me, hey, it's okay. We know what you're doing is not an easy task. You're loving a lot of people, and you're giving that love towards other people. You're giving that understanding to a deeper level that they truly needed at that time. We sent these people your way for them to understand why they are the way they are, why certain things taking place in their life that was truly needed, how they're going to be able to reflect on things, focus on things, place your energy in certain subjects of your life or certain stages of your life that is really needing that nurture at that time, or something you need to really draw back from and not allow yourself to continue towards that. Because a lot of times, if you're focused on the negative instead of the positive, or just using that negative vibe to be able to convert or merge, like, okay, this has happened to me, but since this has happened, allowed me to go ahead and heal myself towards these things. Because it's like all these things that has happened to me, taking place in my life, if you've been with me for a while, a lot of things that I've went through, a lot of things I've endured. And it set me on this path for me to be able to be open about a lot of things that has really taken place in my life that has really been detrimental to me, really hurtful. It made me feel like I lost my mind, but I had to be able to lose that part of myself, because that's what society molded me as. I had to be able to part way from things as I used to know it or thought it was. Now it has allowed me to step in and be confident about reflecting my authenticity, being, keeping it real, on many bases. So it had me going through a lot of transitions that I didn't know I needed to go through, or I needed to shed light on, because it's like so many things is taking place in my life right now. And it's like I feel contentment, I feel peace. Sometimes I get really emotional. I don't know where that is coming from, but I know it's like it's coming from a loving place, so you can be able to relate towards others. I try not to let it be a negative thing, because I felt like overwhelming emotions, being able to be grateful because I did not see myself coming this far. I did not see myself being able to be open, to be able to help as many people as I do, and being grateful for that, because it's it's not about me. It's about what I had to go through for me to be able to help a lot of people. And I felt very blessed to be able to do that. You know, being humble, everything that has taken place in my life, and, really getting the gist of it, really understanding. I had to really go through this deep rooted trauma. Um, and being able to know that it's going to have a domino effect when it comes to people, because it allows you to look into the depth of what has really traumatized you in the worst way. Because a lot of times we can go through certain things in our life and we'll place a wall up because we don't know, are those people having good intentions when they connect with us? Are they being honorable about you know my respect in my life, my personal respect? So you see everything. It's like my daggone energy, man. It's just really creepy right now. But everything's changing into my life, and it's like I feel so blessed. you know um it was like I really came from a dark place, and it was just like being able to be vulnerable like that is not something very easy for me to do, because I never want anybody to think I'm doing it for likes or views or share. When I'm showing you my realness, I'm showing you my realness. And like I tell people, it's scary to do something that's very foreign to you. But I've said it often towards people. Everybody has a voice, but not everybody is going to be comfortable to use that voice. you know and it's just like when we try to find our place in life, and it can be very overwhelming because you really don't know where you're trying to go. Not everybody gets you. Your normal is not that normal when it comes to other people. So it's just like when you're going through that path, your darkness is what strengthens you. Your darkness is what gives you that edge, that fierceness, but it also gives you that determination to know what it felt like being at that bottom when you felt helpless, felt like you were stagnant. But it had to be you that had to come save you. Nobody else is going to do that. You had to do that for yourself. You had to be your own superhero, but you had to also be your own spiritual compass as well, to be able to find yourself out of that. Because I'm blessed about my darkness. I love both. Because if I couldn't have been able to have one without the other, how would I be able to recognize the light in me if I never had to embrace that harshness of that darkness for me to be able to go through that storm and get strengthened from it? So it's just like when you find yourself, feeling lost in transition, or you constantly feel like that heaviness or darkness. When you're constantly feeling that, that's something that universe wants you to identify with that's going on in your life that truly needs that attention for you to be able to heal from it. And a lot of times we hold our pain like a spirit, like a comfort, being his best friend, but that's not what it's supposed to be for. You're supposed to learn from that, become stronger for that, not allow that situation to eat you up and whole and spit you out. These are the things that had to happen for you to be able to relate, to be able to do your mission and serve your purpose and why you're here. So, because it's like there are so many of our ways, and many of us that went through things that we had unfinished business. So we're going through all these different changes in our life, and we're having crazy side effects, because we're merging with our former selves. So whatever part they have gotten done, but there are certain other things that didn't get done. It's like, your different parts of you has a certain puzzle that is needing right now in this life. So it's like all of them have the certain needs. Everything has a certain power, and everything has a certain thing that you needed, um, to be able to complete whatever is, we're severing ourselves from. So I hope you are able to resonate with the content of the video, y'all. Like I said, I had to be able to take off yesterday, and I felt bad because y'all know usually when I can't do anything, I always like, hey, I got this going on. But it was like that type of energy I had going on with me yesterday, and you see how it's like changing the light in front of my face. Um, it's like my energy is constantly like changing and growing. It's like my daughter's father, he let me use this car that he rented, and it's like all electric and stuff like that. My powers were and my energy was changing. It was messing up the stuff in the car. And I was like, Dad, you can't even start your car. What's going on? Because I drained the battery out of mine. So I had to use his, and his act like it didn't want to start because I felt like a lot of major things was shifting in me, and it was like messing with the electrical system. So that was going on. But yeah, I was hoping that you're able to resonate with the content of my video. We are really growing in our family rapidly. I think we're almost close to 1900 right now of subscribers. So thank you for that support. It's truly appreciated. And I would love to give a post notification shout out to Zach Della Rosa, uh, Sheena Jacobs, and Catherine Bland. Much love to you. Welcome to the family. If this is your new, your first time, welcome. It's so good to have you. Drop a line, give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I'm about to upload another video. If you feel like you want to contact me, um, but you don't want to drop your comments here because you got things going on you don't feel comfortable with, I truly understand. You can find me on Facebook Messenger. I don't know if you have to send me like a request or anything, but I won't be accepting you know the the request on my page, but I always stay connected with others on my messenger. That's how I just communicate with everybody, so don't take offense if I don't confirm that. I just rather stay, in contact with them. I'm in Pacific Standard Time, so please contact me at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time to 10:30 at night. Uh, the same. Nothing before that. After that, that's my personal time to recharge and do what I got to do for self. And that goes for 7 days a week. But if you're overseas, which I understand because I got a lot of people that I help all over on the on the European side and all those different things. So I know that there's a big time gap between that. So I will go ahead and return, answer your questions or reply to you as soon as I can if you're overseas. But like I said, I hope you have a blessed, prosperous day. This month, I mean, this month, yeah, the month and the week is almost over with. Everything's going so fast. Um, but like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, drop me a line so I can go ahead and give you a post notification shout out. Know that you are truly blessed, highly favored, and forever loved, and knowing there's always somebody out there praying for your better days. And make sure that you give out love, light, positivity, as well as prosperity words, vibes, and frequencies. You never know, all those things can really take somebody a long way. And I hope and pray everything you're trying to manifest into your reality comes 1,000 times more than what you asked for, and it comes so much sooner than you expected it. And I'll see you in my next video. Much love, peace, be well.